about something so many of us have in our yards, trees. There have been at least 35 deaths reported from trees falling this year alone, and conditions right now are particularly dangerous in many parts of the country. And Ginger is back with an eye-opening look at this issue. Good morning again, Ginger, but this is really dangerous.
Good morning. I've been wanting to do this story for a long time. You see me all the time in storms. I'm standing in front of a tree that sliced through a home, and often it kills people. And one of the deaths that happened this year really hit a nerve with me. It was a 12-year-old boy in New Jersey who died last month in his own backyard. It was windy. He was playing with a friend, but a tree suddenly fell on him. There was not a thunderstorm around. We know that trees are dangerous when there are storms like that, but we're learning that a dead or weak tree can also fall on a sunny day with little or no wind. And with extreme weather fluctuations, like our current drought here in the Northeast after a supersaturated winter, trees are stressed and they're falling more easily.
Watch as a falling tree narrowly misses this 5-month-old's crib. Miraculously, the baby was okay.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
It will be for a 9-year-old who had a tree fall on him at recess.
In Missouri, this limb suddenly snapping, not during a storm, but on a nice day, injuring 5 students, 1 critically.
It's a public safety concern.
John Ling is a certified arborist at Friendly Tree, a tree care company in New Jersey.
We're knocking on doors, reminding people to look up and save a life.
Hello.
Hello.
On this woman's property, we find this dead limb hanging right over her fire pit and gazebo.
When you're there, you're with family, you're with friends, you're not focused on looking up and around. The bark is all missing, no leaves, no twigs. When they are that brittle, they could fracture and fall on a bright, sunshiny day like today.
So John's crew takes care of it, right on the spot.
Down the road, we meet homeowner Eric, father of a 7-year-old boy. We called him ahead of time to make sure he was home because what we spotted in his backyard needed immediate attention.
A play structure, a trampoline, children directly under a very dead, very brittle tree. This is an imminent risk. It's not a question of if this tree is going to fail. It's a question of when and how significantly if somebody's going to be there or not.
From way up here, it is so clear to see how dead this tree is. That branch or the whole tree could fall into the drop zone, that playground right in its line.
And you've got a little boy that plays here. How are you feeling?
I never think on a day like today where it's not windy, it's a beautiful day out, that it could potentially drop, but
absolutely,
that's the part of it what I find the most scary.
John's crew gets to work, removing the entire tree.
If I'm a homeowner, what can I do?
You look up. When you look up and you see something that might not look like it should be that way, a limb that has no leaves, bark that's peeling off, and there's nothing attached, no twigs. We also obviously look for limbs that have already broken and are just hanging precariously. Cracks, any big open wounds. When you see something, say something, as they say.
Yeah.
And now, with our extreme weather fluctuations, sagging limbs like this could be even more dangerous.
It's called SBD, sudden branch drop syndrome. During periods of extreme heat and dry, the tissue shrinks and can fracture. Issues that we used to be able to manage over the course of years. Now, trees die within a season.
We had 300% of normal precipitation this winter and early spring.
That's right.
And now here we are on what potentially could be the longest dry spell.
That's exactly
A tree
it.
can't adapt.
He says the most important thing is to have your tree inspected by a certified arborist at least once a year, ideally before and after a major storm.
Limbs can fracture during a storm, and they don't disconnect until days later, where it might be bright and sunshiny, or people are out assessing the damage.
But if a storm is imminent and you're worried about a concerning tree falling into your house, experts say consider avoiding areas in your home where the tree could potentially fall, even if it means sleeping in a different room. This is particularly important in the winter. Snow adds weight to trees, and those tree limbs too.
Things are happening up there that affect us down here, and it's a simple thing. Look up.
And here's what most of you are probably thinking right now. Tree removal is way too expensive. Sometimes it could be thousands of dollars. But if you go with a certified arborist, they can often save you money. It might just be that a limb needs trimming or maybe to be held up, and that can just be hundreds of dollars. So it's like preventative medicine. That pruning could save the tree, it could save you the thousands and the cost of the fall if it goes onto one of your loved ones or your home. It's an insurance policy, really. And get this, that yearly checkup is often free.
You know, a tree issue may not always necessarily be your responsibility.
That's the exciting part too, is a lot of these are on the periphery of somebody's yard. Depending on where you live, if a tree is close to the road or you think that it might be in a town or state property, it could be up to them to pay for it. So it's worth looking into. And if you remove a tree, do consider replacing it and look at what's changed as far as what trees work where, as far as natives, because that's evolving too as we warm.
What do you mean by that?
So like as we warm, the temperature's warm, he's saying that there are trees that we used to say, hey, put these in because they'll last forever. Not anymore.
Ooh, wow. This was so eye-opening.
I hope so.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.